Episode 13 of Lie to Me started where episode 12 ended, in which Ji-kun chose to go see Ha-jung versus going to see his aunt and Yoonju's parents. Hello everyone, welcome back to another review on the Review Garden. So when he went to her, they pretty much went to the amusement park and, started playing around. She tried asking him what was wrong because he was playing around, more aggressively. So she kind of picked up on something being wrong. And also, she asked him, do you know who Congressman Park is? And he finally revealed to her that, hey, it's Yoonju's stepfather. Also at the restaurant, you had Sorang and her husband who made up, and they were having dinner. And while she was going to the bathroom, she saw, Yoonju and her family and the aunt sitting on a table. So she went and called Ha-jung and was like, hey, just wanted to check on you and see what you were doing. And Ha-jung told her that she was with Ki-jun and that, she was pretty much having fun. And she was like, oh, okay, glad to hear that. So now when she got off the phone, she realized that Yoonju's mom was listening. So I'm guessing Yoonju's mom asked her who she was talking to and what was going on, because they were waiting for Ki-jun and for the mom to hear that Ki-jun was not coming. So she went back to the table and told Yoonju and the stepfather, let's go and whatnot. So the next day, Ki-jun had to pretty much go apologize to his aunt. And he's like, I don't like the idea of using Yoonju to get President Chan. So basically the whole beginning of episode 13 is just him trying to get back into President Chan's good graces and get the partnership back on track. Also at Ha-jung's job, they're suspecting some kind of relationship. One of her coworkers, he's not even doing his job. He's the one who passed the workload over to her during that whole retreat thing. And then he goes to the boss like, hey, haven't you noticed that World Hotel is involved in everything? And Ki-jun is involved in everything. I'm like, dude, mind your own business. You're not even doing your own job. You're over here worried about her. So, the workplace is also being, they're suspecting her. And she wants to keep her relationship to him quiet. So they're not saying anything right now. And then with President Chan, he pretty much had a conversation with him heart to heart saying that, hey, even though we lied, we still love each other, and so on and so forth. President Chen told him like, hey, fine, I'll consider it, but I'm not telling you that, yeah, I'll do it like before. Ji-kun decided that he wanted to go to China to kind of fix the issues with President Chen and trying to see how he can fix the whole situation with entering, the Chinese market. However, after he left, there's news that broke out that he's involved in a scandal, which was talking about the fact that he lied to President Chen and said that he was married already. And the whole drama with, that he was supposed to marry Yoonju, right? And now no one can reach him while he's in China. So now, the aunt and his secretary, his manager Park, nobody knows, what they should be doing to stop the problem. But I have a feeling that it was the guy who Manager Park fired some board members because they were not using the funds properly. And that guy, he was mad, and he went to the aunt and was like, I can't believe I'm fired by a young CEO. And she's like, well, fired is better than, being at the police precinct, right? So he met up with someone. So I'm pretty sure he's the one who leaked the story. And all of these people blaming everything on Ha-jung is like weird to me. So like Yoonju she went to the office, she went to the hotel, and then she happened to see Ha-jung there. And, she went out with her to talk to her. And she's like, you need to reconsider being with Ki-jun. Being his woman is not simple. Like, you can't be bringing him down. He's somebody who focuses on his projects. And I'm like, why are you even still here? Like, this man erased you from his memory. Like, why are you still here? Grasping for scraps. Like, why? And then his aunt calls her and is like, can you give us Ki-jun back? He needs to focus on his projects. He needs to focus on the hotel. He needs to focus on his responsibilities. What does that have to do with her? For the first time, this man is living his life, and he's still taking responsibility for what he's caused. So you can't just be like, because he's not here, to go to her and be like, don't give him back. Like, what does that even mean? Right? And then for her, when she's feeling that way and he's not here, she's most likely going to either run away, tell him that, she wants to break up, versus facing everything with him the way she's supposed to. So the end of episode 13, beginning of episode 14, she quit her job at the ministry, and then she went in front of the reporters and pretty much said that Ki-jun did not lie. It was me who made up the lie, who said that I was married to him, and so on. And I'm like, technically, you didn't. You didn't say you were married to him. You said you were married. It was your friends who went and said you were married to him. Okay? The fact that the aunt told her to take the blame says so much about her. And the fact that she went in front of those reporters and took the whole blame, I'm like, how does that make sense? How did you force him to go along with the lie? Even the people, for you to be like, oh, I took full blame. I even lied to President Chen about it. And I'm like, unless you had a weapon stuck to his head, there's no way he could have gone along with it. And that's why one of the reporters asked. So, for anyone to actually believe this. And for Ki-jun too, like, you left her alone. You didn't answer any of the calls people were calling you about. And then now you're acting all worried. You left her by herself. You know how your aunt can be. You know how people can be. I guess he thought, like, because the identity of the person wasn't revealed, that she would be okay. But it doesn't work that way. And, Ha-jung had to, like, go through too many people asking her what really happened, especially at her job. You know, her boss and the minister were asking her what really happened. The minister was like, if you don't tell me, this is the last chance. If you don't tell me what's going on, like, I'm going to have to send you up for disciplinary action. Is that what you want? And she's like, it pretty much is what it is. So, like, in an effort to help her and in an effort to help himself, Ki-jun took her to the, I don't think it was the park, but I think it was like the mall. And he waited until there were a lot of people, and he started, saying, I love you. I love Haejong, Gung Haejong. So, the women were like cheering that he's confessing his love to her. And who's watching on the video? Yoonju is watching and crying. And I'm like, yeah, bet he never did that for you. And he was like, the woman I love is Haejong, and he was like screaming it. And, she's over here sitting crying. And I'm like, you also wouldn't go and take the blame for her. You were so quick to go tell Haejong to go do what's right. Yet here is this man publicly telling you and everyone else who the woman he loves is. So I really hope that she, picks herself up, whether it is to go back to Paris or whatever it is she wants to do. But there's really no need for her to be here still crying over this man who told her no multiple times. So the couple each had their own disciplinary hearing. The board of directors wanted to have a meeting to discuss removing Ji-kun from his position. And they were like, the choice is pretty much made because you all this story about you came out in the newspaper and you couldn't even get the contract with President Chan. So they were like, sorry, the choice is already made. And so then while his aunt was like, okay, well then let's take a vote. Manager Park walked in and said that, hey, President Chen just sent over the signed contract and he wants to, partner with us. He wants to invest. And, everybody's happy except for the two guys who really wanted Ji-kun gone. And in terms of Ha-jung's disciplinary hearing, hers, they're not really asking her, fair questions. They're like, oh, did you choose your lover's hotel over others? And she's like, well, it was, first of all, if his hotel is better, why can't she choose his? While I understand, her job is a government position, but if his hotel is better, she should be able to use it. Are you saying that just because she's dating him, she can't use his hotel at all? How is that fair to him now? Like, they make no sense. And she even said it. She's like, she doesn't feel like these questions are fair to her. And they're like, oh, this is what's gonna help us make the final decision. Your answer to this question: is it true that you and Ki-jun are in a relationship? And I'm like, how exactly is that going to help you make your decision? Like, you're very biased. Like, if you want to fire her, just fire her. I don't see the point of this disciplinary action thing. Towards the end of episode 14, they called her and told her that she's being dismissed. And, she's a little sad. And I'm like, in a way, she wanted to be dismissed, right? Because she would have defended herself even more. Because when the minister asked her, like, hey, this is your last chance, before I send it up there. Because if she had to, answered the question for the minister, then they wouldn't have even sent her to the disciplinary action board, And obviously it's unfair because you can't really prove that she chose his hotels because of the two of them being together. So just like, Kijun said, with her lie, she helped him. But for her, she got fired. But hey, with Kijun, the President Chen signed the paperwork. They even took pictures, made it official. And then he wanted to have a party to celebrate. So he invited, Kijun and Hajung, right? So when they get to the party, the wife, President Chen's wife, was like, yeah, we really just wanted to have this party to, celebrate with Kijun and his wife. And I'm like, what part of that didn't you hear? Didn't you understand? Because you responded back, the aunt responded back saying, oh, I thought you were doing this for us, right? So that means you heard her say that. So when Hajung and Kijun walked into the party, she's mad and she's looking at her like all stink. And she goes and she tells Kijun that Ajung is shameless because Ajung came to the party knowing that Yunju was going to be at the party too. First of all, why would Yunju be at the party? Just because her parents are at the party doesn't mean she needs to be at the party. And the party is a celebration for the deal that Kijun made with President Chen. Kijun told you that he didn't want Congressman Park to play a role in it. So for the aunt to be like, oh, she's shameless. Like, no, you're shameless because she's the whole reason why you're even in this partnership. So be quiet. Episode 14 ends with pretty much Ajung running away after finding the news of her dismissal. And before that, she kind of tripped on something, and then the glass figure from the party, fell down. So you have 2 episodes left. You don't know if she's gonna break up with him or not, or what she's going to do. But right now she's in a vulnerable space, so who knows what she's going to decide to do. Under the Queen's Umbrella is about a spirited queen who tries to rein in her rowdy sons in order to make one of them the next king of Joseon, while her competitors vie to snatch the throne. So the queen has, I think, 5 sons in total, right? And there's the crown prince, and then there's the 4 other grand princes. The crown prince, he's pretty much perfect. And, he's next in line. So his studies he gets excellence in everything. But her four other sons, on the other hand, they're not, like, studies are not their focus. So they're a little behind. But they are also competing against, the other princes in the palace. So they're grand princes because they are children of the queen. But the ones who are children of the concubines, they are just princes. And the queen dowager doesn't really like the queen. She only lets her, she only lets her do, quote, what she wants because her son is the crown prince. But there's one of the concubines who, I'm guessing she's the first concubine because she had her kid first. And that kid is very jealous of all the other ones, of all the grand princes and the crown prince. He's like, I should have been the crown prince. I'm father's first son. And you should have been the queen. Well, I mean, at that time, the father wanted who he wanted to be queen, and I mean, whatever the rules were, she wanted whoever got queen, and then she just got into the major, concubine position, right? So the son, so the father's firstborn, he said something about the queen. So I'm guessing it's the one that was next in line. So the queen's second son started beating him up. And, when they were fighting, the queen dowager happened to walk past them. So she punished all the other queen's son. So all four of them, she punished them and put them on their knees until the 23rd hour. And, it happened to be raining that day. So they just stood, they were just on their knees under the rain, right? And then she didn't even punish the other one because he didn't say, what he said. But then they showed you that his mom, punished him and was like, you don't make any sense. Why are you saying something about the queen to her own son? If you feel wronged, then prove to them that you're worthy. Like, make sure your studies are just as strong as the crown prince. Like, you can't be saying you should be the crown prince and you're not even worthy of being the crown prince. So, I did, give her credit for saying that, because she took it onto herself to punish her own son, even though the queen dowager didn't. And if you're not going to punish him, why are you punishing the grand princes? If anyone should punish them, it should be their own mom. And according to one of the sons, it seems like, the father, he was like, the father has at least 10 other wives. So why can't I have a girlfriend? So there's a lot of them. There's a lot of concubines that the, queen has to worry about and that the king has to tend to. And I think I counted, I could be wrong, but there's a total of 13 kids altogether. And the queen has, and the queen has 5. So that's a lot of, princes competing for the throne. Obviously, some want some wants the throne more than others, but it's a battle nonetheless because of their mothers. Their mothers are the ones, doing it all, trying to get their sons in this program, in that program. Obviously, with the law, some of them are not allowed to go in certain places. So we'll see where this story goes. But one thing that happened in episode 1 is that the crown prince, fell ill. So he has this disease, and they don't think it's curable. The Queen Dowager kind of found out that he was down, and she sent the physician that could help him out of town. And now she's asking for a cohort to accompany the crown prince. And she's like, choose one of the princes to be the cohort. So if in fact that the crown prince does pass away, she doesn't really have anyone of her other sons that are qualified enough to take the position right away, because they're falling back on all of their studies. And that's what the Queen Dowager told her. She's like, the only reason I even support you, you mean anything to me, is because of your son being the crown prince. All I care about is my son and his country. That's all I care about. Now, if you want your kids to be of importance, you better do your job better and take care of your kids. And I'm like, what the hell? So now she feels the pressure, because if the crown prince dies, she pretty much doesn't have any power anymore, which is weird because she's the queen, right? She's supposed to have power. But the fact that the Queen Dowager is not on her side and the king doesn't really, give a damn about the queen's, well, right now, that's what it seems like. He's not giving her the power that she needs. Usually some kings, they put the queen at the top, and then, the concubines come second. But it seems like he's giving some concubines some time, because she was on her way to go see the king, and the king was already, there was already a woman in there. And episode 1, he already added a new concubine to the court. So I'm like, this man, he's worried about other stuff, And the fact that she's not telling him about the crown prince, I don't know how I feel about that. So apparently the concubine number 1 was technically supposed to be queen, but because the late king did not want his mother's family to be, to have too much power, so he made her a concubine, and then went to find, I think she said, the Queen Dowager said he went to find, someone without any background to become queen. So maybe that's why the Queen Dowager, hates the queen so much. She's like, you're of low background, so you shouldn't be having a say anyway. You're just lucky that the late king made you queen. Ew. The current queen went to go see Queen Yu, which, she was banished because the crown prince at the time, I think I'm getting this right, the crown prince at the time had the same disease as the current crown prince. And then after he died, which she was like, he was cured of the disease, but he still managed to die of something else. So, she went to go see her, even though she was banished. And then they showed you there's somebody that was outside their door listening. Someone with a burn hand, with a burn on their hand, right? So who could that be? It could probably be one of the other concubines that were listening, right? So, she pretty much went to go see her so she could ask her what should she do about the whole situation, especially since, the Queen Dowager kind of scared her a little bit, by what she said. So now she needs to figure out what to do. And Queen Yu asked her, like, hey, did you prepare your other sons, to become king in case anything were to happen to the crown prince? She was like, no, I didn't. She was like, of course you didn't, because then it would put all of your sons in danger, thinking like, they are going against each other. But that's the difference between your sons and the concubine's sons, right? Because they're pretty much raised to be better. I guess in a way, because they may not have the power to do so, but in case anything were to happen, they would be ready to take the reign. And that's what she's telling her, like, hey, be careful. Because if you heard what the queen said, she's like, the current king, he's a concubine's son, right? After the crown prince, passed away, he became king. But the Queen Dowager, she still favors him, right? So she's still, so let's try to understand this. If he's a concubine's son, right? So that would mean that she's not her son, but she's still fighting for him. She only cares about him and his, and his country, but yet doesn't care about all of his kids. She only cares about the concubine's kid. Well, the first one anyway. But with the other concubines, she's trying to get them under her hand by giving them that booklet. She gave them a booklet that says, how to prep your child to become king. And she gave it to each one of them, but she told her court lady to be like, hey, you're the only one who got this. So, trying to make them feel special in a way, and for them not to go blab saying that, yeah, they got this piece of paper. And meanwhile, while, the queen is with Queen Yu, the Queen Dowager is meeting with, concubine number one and, plotting, asking her, hey, do you want your son to become, king? And I'm like, this woman. Okay. So, she was a concubine. The current Queen Dowager, she was a concubine. She was concubine number one. And whatever happened to the crown prince, she did whatever she did to get her son the position, and now she's trying to do the same thing with the other concubine. She still can't stand having, someone she doesn't like as queen. Interesting. The Queen Dowager, oh my gosh, she's so evil. The Queen Yu was saying that even though, she banned her and the crown prince passed away, well, was killed, they still came after all her other kids. And they killed them. She said there's still one left, but still, they see, this is the thing about watching these period pieces. They always go to the extreme. And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, can I handle it or not? Because with, when you watch the new ones, you could watch a romance. Someone's not going to get their throat slit. But with these, you just never know what you're going to learn. Even after he got hit by his mom, he's still talking crap about the queen. And, the second son, the queen's second son, already told him, talk about my mama again, I'm gonna end you. And this man is acting like, it's me who's supposed to be king, who's supposed to be crown prince, not your brother. If I ever take the throne, I will make sure that you guys don't even exist, even as peasants. I'm like, dude, you don't even deserve to be king just because just because you were born first. Get a grip. And he's talking about, oh, these are our lowly servants. I'm like, dude. And then the queen also finds out that, none of her sons are even qualified to be cohorts. So, they don't even take their education seriously. And, even the town knows them as rascals. So she's gonna have to turn everything around, and she doesn't want to tell them about the crown prince's condition because he did wake up, but he's still in critical condition. He doesn't want to tell them about it because they're going to visit him all the time. So that would also, have people investigating why they are doing that. But their interaction with their mom is hilarious. They don't care. They don't care anything that has to do with, being king or being educated. Two of them just care about getting married and getting out of the palace. And you have to understand them, what they have to face in the palace. Of course, they would just want to run away and go do other things. So the guy told her, she went to go to their teacher to ask them which of the grand princes would, is better in their education. The guy was like, none of them. And especially, these two princes, they are on the verge of being expelled because, they miss so many lessons and what for. So when she was talking to her senior court lady about it, they saw one of the ones, that was gonna be, I don't remember his name, but they saw him and then they followed him. So one of the ones that, the queen thought would be the best, which ended up being one of the worst, they saw him and they started following him. They followed him until they got to this house. And they didn't show you what the queen saw, but whatever she saw, she ran out crying. So I wonder what it is, right? So what could it be that she could run away crying like that? And even the senior court lady, she saw it. She saw whatever he was doing, and like ran away crying as well. Well, she didn't really run away. She's more like trying to find the queen. But like I mean, I guess I shouldn't be laughing or excited because, whatever it is, it's sad for her. But I guess it's sad for her because whatever his secret is, he won't be able to become king with it. So I wonder what it is. So it turns out, all of the grand princes, they joined the cohort selection. She didn't think, none of them would. One of them, the one they found out the secret about him, he volunteered ever since when the queen asked, right? The one who's only interested in girls, he he participated, and he told the master, don't, can we not display the results? Then I'll participate. And he was like, it's not like I'm here because I don't want my mom to yell at me. But yeah, as long as you do that, then I'll participate. And then Grand Prince Sonyam, he's the second one. He's the second son. His brother, the crown prince, asked to see him. And, he was pretty much telling him, hey, I want you to be in my son's life. I want you to be like a father and big brother to him. And I also want you to be my cohort and, spend time with me. So that's why he volunteered. And he volunteered last minute, like almost with like 1 minute left, because some guy came to take the list from the master, and it still had 30 minutes left, and the master was like, no, you're gonna wait those 30 minutes, go sit over there and wait. And he was like, okay, now I'm done waiting, it's time. So as he was gonna hand it to him, that's when the grand prince came running in, and the master was like, I knew you were gonna participate. So I was like, this whole time he was waiting for someone. So I guess we know who he was waiting for. So, and even though, he told the mom that all of them, their education are not par, but he still believes that one of them has what it takes to be the cohort. I had a feeling that this is why she was crying. Oh my gosh. So his secret is that well, he has makeup on his face, like I'm just thinking that maybe he could be learning how to do makeup, because during that time there were men who knew how to do makeup, because in that other period piece, the Flower Crew, the matchmaking agency, one of the guys knew how to put makeup on, and that wasn't a problem. But I guess since he's the king's son, then it might be a problem. And I think I did see some women's clothing, so maybe he likes, doing that. So, but what I didn't like is the fact that you know what you're doing and you're doing it in secret, and you don't even close the outside door. You don't close the outside door, and you don't close the door of the house. So now someone else got in. One of the concubines got in and saw his secret as well. And which was pretty much the end of episode 2. And this wraps up our journey on the Review Garden. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this drama. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please remember to subscribe for more insightful videos. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps our channel grow. As always, I'm truly grateful for your support and for joining me on this journey on the Review Garden. Until next time, and happy listening. Bye.